Hello everyone and welcome to the extra video for Metroid. In this video we're going to be taking a look at the password system. For those who don't know, Metroid was originally released for the Famicom disk system in Japan, which allowed for save data. However, the cartridge version does not. It has a password system. And for the majority of the video we're going to be diving deep into this password system. We've got some cool passwords, we've got some not so cool passwords, and we've got passwords that make you question how they even got into this game in the first place. The first password we're going to be looking at is the NAR password. This password makes you completely indestructible. Not only does it give you every single item in the game, but it also makes you completely invincible and you have infinite missiles. Really quick, I just wanted to show off this weird glitch that I came across while I was recording this. There's a random blue door right here, but you can't go through it or anything. It's just there. So I figured I'd just show that off. It's weird. Another thing I wanted to show off was this secret passageway that leads you... It's actually a shortcut to Kraid. That I didn't even know about. I never knew about. But if you go down this pathway, head into this room, which is exactly the same as the last one, and you bomb right here, you fall through here, it will take you to a pathway that leads to a fake Kraid. This right here is fake Kraid. And he's very weak. He can also be frozen. He's just like a regular enemy. But just like a regular enemy, he goes down in just about one hit with a missile. I'm not sure how much damage it takes. But hey, that's fake Kraid, a complete pushover. Not the real boss, obviously. However, this pathway leads to a shortcut to Kraid. So if you're ever playing this game and you want to speed run, this is a good way to do it. But getting back to the NAR password, this is also a good way to speed run the game, which means that you can also get the best ending easily this way, which is Samus with a bikini rather than a bathing suit. Before we move on to the next password, I wanted to show you guys what happens after you beat the game. After you finish the game at least once, you get Justin Bailey, aka Suitless Samus, which gives you every major item in the game. Morph Ball, Long Beam, Ice Beam, the High Jump Boost, the Various Suit, and even the Screw Attack. The only thing that you don't have are missiles and energy tanks. You could just go straight to Kraid and get missiles from him and Ridley. It's essentially New Game Plus that helps you get through the game much faster than your first playthrough. The next password we're going to be looking at is pretty weird. It's a password that gives you the bomb, wave beam, and the screw attack, but for some reason it doesn't give you the morphing ability. You can't go into morph ball form. For some reason, I don't understand why. That makes absolutely no sense. That is so contradicting. It drops you into Kraid's lair, and the Various suit apparently does not exist. Which, by the way, this is Justin Bailey without the Various suit. I truly don't understand how anybody is supposed to get through this place without the Various suit, without any energy. Starting off with 30 energy, once again, is absolutely stupid. Any enemy in Kraid's hideout can do a crazy amount of damage. You can die in less than 2 hits by getting hit by one of these enemies. The side hopper probably kills you in an instant with 30 energy. And the acid will definitely kill you pretty fast without the Various suit. This place is a borderline instant death trap. You may as well not even come here. And considering how much I was struggling just trying to get through this place, I ended up giving up and moving on. Look at that crap. Moving on to the next password is pretty simple to enter. This password will allow you to start and play through the game as Suitless Samus without any equipment, which would be the equivalent of starting a new game. If I ever decide to do another 100% run of this game, I'm definitely going to be using this password. Because let's be honest, Samus' power suit looks really ugly in this game. At least Suitless Samus looks pretty. That being said, I have no intention of playing through this game again anytime soon. But for now, that's neither here nor there. Moral of the story, if you want to go through this game and complete it, but you don't like Samus' ugly power suit sprites, just enter this password and you get to play as Suitless Samus. The next password we're going to be looking at is the Justin Bailey password. But we're not looking at the vanilla Justin Bailey password, we're looking at an alternative password. With this password you get the Morph Ball, bombs, high jump boots, 4 energy tanks, and 55 missiles. It starts you off in Kraid, and you get 0 time on the clock, which means that you get an opportunity to see the best ending of the game. However, unfortunately, similarly to a couple of passwords ago, where I got dropped into Norfair, I didn't make it very far into this, because, come on, it's Norfair, you've got 30 energy, you're not gonna get very far, especially if this freaking Psyhopper hits you. See, I'm already almost dead. I'm dead. It was actually the acid that killed me, but the enemy knocked me into the acid, so at that point there was no way out. So here I am just absolutely struggling. So after a few impatient attempts, I moved on. Moving on to the next password, we've got the Gunpe Yokoy password. If you don't know who Gunpe Yokoy is, he is the producer of this game. My guess is that he snuck in this password before the game was published. You don't really get much of anything, you just the long beam, 3 energy tanks, 24 missiles. You don't have the Morph Ball, and for some reason the high jump boost and the Varia suit don't exist. The only thing cool about this password is that the producer of the game has his own password. Otherwise, this password is pretty limiting and pretty lame. I didn't try this password out for very long, I pretty much moved on after this. Next is the Metroid Nintendo Copyright 1986 password. I'm not even kidding, that's literally what the password is. This password gives you the Morph Ball, bombs, high jump boost, Varia, screw attack, ice beam, 4 energy tanks, and 167 missiles. Why is that so oddly specific? This password starts you in Rayleigh's lair, suitless. Kraid's dead along with the 3 Zebetites pre-destroyed in Torion. But I don't think I need to tell you that I didn't really mess with this password for very long. As you can see, I am so close to death that it's going to be extremely difficult for me to get back to full health at this point. When I got to this room, I got completely ambushed, and I just did not have the patience to go through this crap. Next is the XK password. The most useless password in the entire game, and one of the most useless passwords in video game history, probably. You've got no items except for the long beam. They have the gall to give you just 1 energy tank and somehow only 48 missiles, with no way to defend yourself from the unholy ambush of these Metroids. You could try going up the elevator, but you may as well not even try going up the elevator because you have no Morph Ball, you can't even escape. You can't even fall into the acid and start at the beginning of Brinstar. There's no way past this. You're stuck. And you could try really hard to try and get past the Metroids. It might be possible, but the chances of you getting past the Metroids are slim to none. I tried so hard to get past these Metroids, and it did not go well any of the times, any of my attempts. You could try and like push the Metroids back with the missiles, but even that's not gonna do very much good. And with no Varia, you're gonna die immediately if you don't get jumped by the rest of them, which will kill you in less than a second. And even if you somehow do manage to get past the Metroids and blast the door at the bottom, you're not gonna get past the Rinka because they will destroy you in one hit. This password is literally just a joke. You can't do anything here. It is kind of funny though. The next password could be the best in the game, or it could be considered the best in the game. It gives you all the items, full missiles, and starts you at the beginning of Torion with no time on the clock. You don't even have to kill Mother Brain. You just have to make your way through the Metroids and the Rinkas. All the Zebetites are gone too. Definitely a great password for those who want to see the best ending. The next password is the same as the former one, except this time you actually have to destroy Mother Brain. Safe to say I didn't really like that very much, because I don't particularly think fighting Mother Brain is very fun. And the Rinka are super annoying. The next password is one of the most infamous passwords of all time. It references an invalid starting location and generates a ridiculous game time value that's equivalent to 314.5 years. And depending on which version of the game you play, this password will either crash your game system or it'll just crash the game. I can't even believe that this is an actual password that you can enter into a Nintendo game that was made in 1986, albeit a game that was released internationally in 1987. I'm pretty sure by now you've already guessed what this password is if you're a Metroid fan, and I'm pretty sure you can tell that I'm not going to say the name of it. This should tell you all that you need to know. But the crazy thing is, there's actually a playable version of this password. Ironically, even though this password is called Engage Ridley, it actually drops you into Torion. You'll be playing as suitless Samus with the Varia effect, 82 missiles, 3 energy tanks, the ice beam, but no morph ball. And because there's no morph ball, that means you can't backdrag to Brinstar. Not exactly a very special password. It just has a really funny name. An albeit unbelievable name at that. Either way, it was not fun fighting Mother Brain again. And I really don't like the Rinka. But once you defeat Mother Brain and you beat the game, you are actually greeted with the worst ending that you could possibly get, where Samus actually turns around and starts crying because you suck at the game. Now, of course, I had to check out this next password, which is the Dragon Ball Z password. I don't understand how this is even a password in this game, because didn't this version of Metroid come out in 1987? 2 years before the Dragon Ball Z anime debuted? I have so many questions, because my brain just cannot fathom that this is even a password in a non-Dragon Ball game. Anyway, with this password, Samus will spawn Sulis and Norfair with 172 missiles, 5 E-tanks. You get most of the essential items except for the Varia. Kraid and Ridley are dead at this point, and you can actually just go straight to Torion even though you start off in Norfair for some reason. But for some reason it registered in my brain to go to Norfair. I didn't even go to Torion to see what was happening there. I didn't really do much with this password at all, but I just went into Norfair for like 5 seconds and completely forgot that I could just go to Torion. And now for the final password of the video. This password is basically called Mother Brain is Toast. This password, once again, makes me question how they got away with this. Considering how Nintendo of America was back in the day when it came to anything related to mature content, it really does boggle my mind that they were able to get away with this. Now personally, I do kind of find this amusing, just for the simple fact that this password actually works. But it's the fact that this password even made it into the game. Like, really think about that. This is a password that you can actually enter into an official version of the game, and it works. How did the designers get away with this? Like, my brain just cannot fathom this at all. But hey, I mean, if you're gonna make a 24 character password system, you may as well go all in and add all of the craziest passwords that you can think of. But all you really need to know about this password is that Mother Brain is literally already toast. And all you have to do is destroy the Zebeth and get out. Assuming that you can get past the Rinka without taking any damage. Did I mention that I absolutely freaking hate the Rinka? When I was recording gameplay for this video, the Rinka were pissing me off so bad. They are legit the biggest threat in the entire game. Their programming is so horrible.
Fuck this guy!
Anyway, with all that said, there's many other passwords that you could use in this game, but these are all the passwords that I wanted to look at for this video. But before I end this video off, I wanted to show you guys a version of Metroid that I think you guys will get a kick out of, that will put the vanilla version of this game to shame. There is a ROM hacker on the internet that's been making the rounds lately in the retro gaming community named Infidelity, and he's been doing a lot of awesome ROM hacks recently involving importing NES games to SNES. And one of those ports is Metroid. And this SNES port of Metroid is absolutely amazing, and it actually makes me want to play the game a lot more. Now, of course, it's still the original game overall, but it has a lot of quality of life improvements and features. For one thing, you can actually stack the wave beam and the ice beam. You can enable and disable items that you've already collected. And it has a built-in map system. All you have to do is pause the game, and you can pull up the map to see where you are. You can also patch the game to make in-game adjustments. And alongside the password system of the NES version, this SNES port also has a save feature like the Famicom Disk System version. If you're gonna play the original Metroid, you have got to play the SNES port. I myself will probably never play the vanilla version of Metroid ever again after this port. With all that said, that's going to be the end of this video. Thank you all so much for watching, and I hope you have enjoyed. And I will see you again in the next video. Have a blessed day.